All right, where is my tour, baby? Where is my tour? Come on, there it is. There it is. Hello to my first video on my Patreon. I am going to read some of... What the hell is this Discord? Oh my god, get away from me, Discord. I'm going to read some of BlueJerboa's beautiful fics. Now, this is a sequel to a fic I read the other day. Shut up, YouTube. Shut the fuck up. Okay, to a fic I read the other day, which was part of the Fairy Lights collection, in which Sayo sang Let It Go from the Frozen movie, and it was very important emotionally. If you haven't seen that, please go watch it. Everything BlueJerboa does is amazing and beautiful and deserves all the world's love. Now, once again, I am not coming at this from the point of view of a professional reader or performer. I am a fan who loves this stuff, and I just want to read and react to it. And, hopefully someone finds it entertaining. Hopefully the person who wrote it loves it. Anyway, love is a stranger. Love is a danger of a different kind. It'll take you away and leave you far behind. And love is a dangerous drug. You have to receive it, and you still can't get enough of the stuff. And I want you, and I want you, and I want you so. It's an obsession. Eurythmics. Love is a stranger. I have to listen to that later. For what you dream of, the hall of dangers, the power in love. You walk the fire for what you dream of. Bedrock for what you dream of. Another song I'll have to look up. So, here we go to actually start it. Can you feel anything yet? I don't think I can. Karuko sighs. It's the third time Haruko has asked the question in the last 10 minutes. She leans in towards her friend, shouting against the throb of the music. Nah, not yet. Look, I told you, mate. It'll take a bit of time to kick in, yeah? We'll know about it when it does, I'm sure. Even in the gloom of the club, it's easy to see just how anxious Haruka is actually looking. Oh my god. Teen girls in a club. I fucking love this already so much. God, that's gonna be so fucking stressful. This is amazing. Wide-eyed, teeth bared, and her fingers tapping out an incessant staccato rhythm on the table that's got nothing to do with the beat of the music. But, like, it can be dangerous, if we're not careful. So, well, that's what I've heard anyway. Karuko bites back an expletive. Look, this was your idea as much as mine, babes. You don't gotta go getting cold feet on me now, eh? Let me put this over here. Sha-sha. Anyway, it's a bit late to start flapping about it now when we've already necked the things. Plus, well, it's what we transformed for first, wasn't it? Just in case, Come on, it'll be fine. Haruka nods, her head unhappily, biting on her bottom lip. I know. I'm sorry, Karuko-chan. It's just... Hi, kitty. Her face splits unexpectedly into a dazzling smile, catching Karuko completely off guard. I'm so excited, but scared too. I feel naughty and bad, really, because it's not good, is it? But, it's so exciting for all of us, and for Sayo-chan in particular. I'm proud of you for being brave for her, and... Sheesh. Karuko lets her friend ramble on, getting it all out of her system, while she basks in the soft, comforting aura of Haruka's company. She's always been Karuko's sun, her light, her warmth, and now, sitting here, watching her spark and crackle, a fizzling ball of nervous energy, she's more irresistible than ever. Karuko is still doing her damnedest to resist, though. You're the bravest person I've ever met, Kao-chan. Please, do you think you can be brave one more time for all of us? Months have passed, and still Sayo's words haunt her. Maybe she can be brave and show her how she feels. One little piece at a time, eh? Tonight certainly seems like a good moment to start. Deep breath. She stretches out across the sticky wood of the table and covers Haruka's dancing fingers with her own. Look, just chill the fuck out, matey. She smiles, masking her own trepidation, hoping that her fingers aren't shaking too much, that her thumping heartbeat isn't about to blot out the sound of the music. It'll all be fine. It'll all be fun. We're here for Sayo anyway, ain't we, yeah? Let's help her along with getting this finding me new self bollocks out of the way. Then we can all go home and have a nice cup of tea. She laughs at Haruka's startled expression. You know, pretend this never happened, yeah? Haruka gives her a slightly pained smile back in return. I don't feel great about it, though. Heroines of justice shouldn't really be doing this. Well, you know. Karuko shrugs. What? Getting mashed off their tits in a nightclub? Yeah, I can't imagine Vats'd be happy. Best not let him know, eh? This is so fucking awesome. God, I love when you take just like well-established characters and put them in a new situation. This is the essence of what fan fiction should be. I love this. Someone's coming. She looks up as Sayo looms over them, picking her way through the noisy crowd. She's clasped 3 plastic bottles of water together between her fingers. That's the determined expression on her face of an Olympic athlete settling down to the starting blocks. Even when she's not the Ice Maiden, she's still the bloody Ice Maiden, Karuko thinks, with an inward sigh of weariness. Even when she's not the Ice Maiden, she is the Ice Maiden. Still, you can't say she hasn't got her name face on, hasn't got her game face on. Sorry, she's applying the same meticulous seriousness to her first venture and to getting off her face that she's always shown in every other endeavor. Get off her face. If Sayo... It's Sayo who's to blame for this little escapade too, let's not forget. I will try not to forget. This is amazing, though. The idea that Sayo is the one. Like, I remember her kind of suggesting it in the prequel to this. But this is fucking amazing that they were like, you know what, Sayo? You're right. We should go to the club. We should get motherfucking blasted. Okay. Anyway, and it'll be Sayo who Karuko's going to be scrapping with in the car park afterwards if anything goes wrong. She remembers it perfectly. Why don't we go clubbing or something? Just you and me heading to town to a load of pills and stay out all night, dance till the sun comes up? You serious? Why the fuck not? Maybe I fancy getting off my tits and dancing like a monkey. Or find some nice lass who'll take me home, stick a collar on me, bend me over and give me a proper scene to. Sayo. What? What, Karuko-chan? Are you gonna do that for me? This is it. The whole point. Why do I always have to do what other people think I should do? Well, yeah, okay, I get that, but do you really want to get mashed on East and fuck some random you pick up in a club? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe, yeah. Don't I get to choose? Well, she's certainly chosen now. Fuck, this is so good. I love this so much. What the fuck? Sayo squeezes into the booth between her friends and sits herself down, spine ramrod straight, mouth drawn up in a tight line, and her eyes fixed on the dance floor like a particularly conscientious general watching over a battlefield. Karuko follows her gaze for a moment, gets bored, and nudges her in the ribs. One moment, I have to put my cat on the floor. Okay, anyway. I think she has to use the bathroom. Karuko follows her gaze for a moment, gets bored, nudges her in the ribs. Okay, you all right there, Party Central? Is this everything you thought it was going to be, eh? Sayo turns her eyes to Karuko, seeming not to see her for a moment, then comes around with a visible start. A flush creeps up on her cheeks, and her mouth curls up in an embarrassed little smile. Oh, I'm sorry, Karuko-chan. I was miles away there. It was... Her eyes drift back towards the dance floor. I just thought I felt something out there. Something that shouldn't be here, perhaps. Karako feels a twist of fear at Sayo's words and leans forwards, eyes directed down at the dance floor, staring unseeingly for a moment as they scan back and forth, and turns back to Sayo once more. The other girl seems to have gone back into her little trance. Karako wafts her hand in front of her friend's face, causing her to jump. Okay, this is kind of awesome, though. In so many ways. Like, in one way, I love the idea of Tresmagia literally just, like, trying to work through their shit and be these teenage girls that they are, and just having these questions of, like, what they want and who they're gonna be and all these, like, critically important things. And then in these situations, having Baiser be like this wild card, this dangerous sort of anomaly lying just outside the range of their predictions. Like, I fucking love that. That is exactly what a show like this, what a manga like this should be. God. Like, these girls are really trying to figure out who they are, and this would be the perfect moment for the villain to bust in and shake stuff up, and, like, through whatever happens, they get closer to who they're supposed to be. They get closer to the happiness they've been denying themselves, the truth that they haven't yet found about themselves. Anyway, Karako, yes, mate, I don't want to be too obvious about it. We've just nicked a bunch of pills. Holy shit, I love these girls so fucking much. Very relatable. Do you think that maybe that's what you're feeling? Because the whole point of them is to mess you up a bit, ain't it? Sayo tilts her head, giving the matter some consideration. I don't think so, she says. I don't think so, she says, shouting over the music. Feels more like a ripple, you know? She puts a hand up in front of her mouth and cranes in towards Karako, hissing at her in a comically obvious stage whisper that's barely audible over the throbbing bass. It felt a bit like dark magic. Karako sniffs. Well, that might just be what the drugs feel like, couldn't it? It ain't like any of us have got much to go on, have we? Eek, you're right. Haruka cranes across the table, her face a mask of worry. Oh my god, I love Haruka so fucking much, dude. How will we know if these things even work? I don't know what they should feel like, do you? Karako glares, her brows furrowed. They better fucking well work. Price I paid for them. Give that skanky bitch Homari-san 12,000 yen for him. She was laughing her arse off as well. Oh, she totally got ripped right the fuck off. She redirects the glare towards Sayo. Should have been you buying them anyway. This is your party, pal. We're just the guests, remember? Sayo has the grace to look somewhat embarrassed, at least. Yes, well, I'm very grateful, Karako-chan. You know that. I just thought it might be a little bit awkward if... Yeah. Karako rolls her eyes. Can't let little Miss Future Head Girl get caught buying evil ecstasy off slags like Takahashi Homari, can we? She snorts in dark amusement. Better off letting the big city girl with the shitty rep get him instead, eh? Sayo throws an arm around her and hugs her tight against that ample bosom. I'm very grateful, she whispers into Karako's ear. I haven't forgotten, and I'm very happy and very grateful that you kept your promise. I really am. God, the way BlueJerboa writes these girls, I want them all to fuck so badly. Holy shit. They're just all so sweet with each other. Oh my god. Her eyes flick across to Haruka, who is watching them out of earshot from the other side of the table. She's chugging away on her bottle of water, the bulging cheeks and eyes making her look a little bit like a tie-dyed chinchilla. Of course, what else would she fucking look like? Sayo nods to her friend cheerfully, then leans in closer. Sorry, the only experience I have with chinchillas is one of those little motherfuckers You put them in a bowl of flour, and they go ham, dude. And now I'm just imagining. Oh my god. I'm just imagining Haruka. You put her in a giant bowl of flour and she just rolls around like fucking cracked out ape shit. Oh, that's beautiful. Sayo nods to her friend cheerfully, then leans in closer. Fucking hell. She's so shit at any sort of subterfuge. It's unbelievable. You made me another promise as well about what you'd be doing this year, and I've not seen much evidence of progress. Be brave one more time, remember? Kawako grimaces and turns away. Of course she can fucking well remember. She's not likely to forget it in a hurry, is she? You two. You're my best friends in the world. You know that, right? I'd love to keep you like that forever. I really would. But you're in love with her, Karako-chan. Not a crush or something. You're in love. It's not going away anytime soon. And I'd rather we risk things and maybe see you happy than do nothing and know you were so miserable. You're the bravest person I've ever met, Kao-chan. Please. Do you think you can be brave one more time? For all of us? They've talked things through plenty of times beforehand, of course, in a whirl of nervous, guilty excitement. Nobody could know. Not friends, not family, and sure as shit, not Vatan. So the whole thing about Vatan sounding like grandma, I think it's like Obasan or Hoha, what, something, etc., Japanese, etc. Anyway, it had all been planned very carefully in the end, following a simple chain of logic, and credit where credit was due, it was Sayo who'd taken the lead in putting her voyage of discovery into action. They'd have to be transformed to get the benefit of their anti-detection magic, but not obviously transformed. Nobody could recognize them by their real names, or they were completely sunk, and they couldn't go in through the front door of the club anyway, either as themselves, too young, or as Tresmagia, too famous, so they had to find an alternative. So then, bags had been packed, points of entry scoped, and timings worked out with the precision of a well-drilled bank heist. Maybe they'd have been better off as a team of villains after all. Certainly, Sayo had shown a startling lack of scruples for someone usually so hidebound about the slightest infringement. This obviously meant a great deal to her. The three girls had met up, transformed, and then quietly flown to the roof of the building before stripping off their Tresmagia uniforms and getting themselves into something a bit more appropriate for a night on the tiles. Anon mode, Sayo had named it. A snappy little bit of subterfuge in case Vats overheard them. A way for the three of them to enjoy the anonymity of their recognition inhibition. Sayo had almost exploded with smugness when explaining how she came up with the name. And the comfort blanket of their transformation powers, while still being able to blend in with everybody else. After all, they reasoned, nobody wanted to have their fun curtailed on a wild night out by having Tresmagia turn up being all heroines of justicey about stuff. That would really piss on your chips. So, Anon mode it was, with a quick change on the roof. I fucking love this plan, bro. Oh my god, let me drink some water. Oh, that is very true, though. God, if you're just out for a night on the town to get riggedy wrecked, and like motherfucking Barney the dinosaur showed up, I'd be like, oh, hey Barney. No, yeah, I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches too. No, I'm not chugging the vodka. I swear, I swear. Anyway. Yes, I like this plan. I like this entire thing. I love this fucking fix so much so far. That had been mortifying enough in itself. She had seen her friends in various stages of undress, ranging from disheveled clothing to full frontal nudity, too many times to mention. But it didn't make it any easier on this occasion. Quite the opposite, in fact. Ever since all that business over New Year when Sayo had bullied her into finally admitting her feelings, anything like this was just a drawn-out torture, with Karako horribly self-aware of her own desire to gawp at Haruka and the desperate need to avoid doing so for the sake of her own sanity, and the knowledge that Sayo was standing there, right there, hovering over her like a fucking vulture, watching for the faintest slip or sign of failing resolve, laughing up her sleeve at her, and at the same time pushing, prodding, nudging her into the sort of gut-wrenching declaration that Karako would rather gargle bleach than make in public. Damn, Karako is fucking getting traumatized. Just tell her, Karako. God, I mean, I say that, but it is really hard. Stupid Sayo and her brave new world of self-expression. That is a hell of a fucking reference. Oh my God, look up that. Look that up. Look up Brave New World. I dare you. I dare you. Honestly, half the time it made her want to just chuck a chair at the knucklehead, and only a nagging feeling that that would somehow make matters worse had stayed her hand thus far. So, Karako had stood resolutely turned away as the three of them fought their way through buttons and hooks, crinoline and petticoats, wobbling awkwardly to strip off boots with nowhere to sit, and then hurriedly delving into their bags to dig out their disguises, as Haruka had laughingly called them. The whole thing reached an apogee of awfulness as Karako shimmied herself into a pair of shorts she was only half convinced she could pull off successfully, fastened the belt around her waist, and hastily pulled a black vest top over her head, positively glowing with mortification at the knowledge that Haruka was directly behind her, less than 3 feet away, wearing nothing but a pair of standard issue Magia Magenta panties and a whole heap of big positive energy. She could reach out behind her and touch that soft skin. Imagine the way those doe eyes would light up and focus. Fuck, this is really this is really good. God, the way BlueJerboa is able to like capture the anxiousness of this situation, absolute fucking art. Sayo was there, on the very edge of her peripheral vision, squeezing those awesome tits of mass destruction into a white halter neck dress that seemed to be at least 2 sizes too small to accommodate them, and had a hemline high enough to make any genuinely prim and proper shrine maiden spontaneously combust with shame. Not that Sayo had been that for some time, it was fair to say. Karako risked a glance sideways in Sayo's direction and caught her friend's eye. Sayo had obviously clocked her blush and was smirking in a way that frankly made Karako want to knock her teeth out. But she had the decency to turn away and busy herself with last-minute adjustments as Karako silently stewed. Then she'd made the stupid mistake of turning around and catching sight of Haruka's outfit at extremely close quarters. Had to feign a coughing fit to give herself an excuse to turn away and explain her glowing red face. The dress is a simple enough design. Hemline at the top of the thighs, then a simple tube of fabric up to just below the armpits, and 2 thin straps to keep everything firmly in place while showing off all the wearer's assets to full effect. It's a bright patchwork of tie-dye neon, an explosion of color which is oh so Haruka, and made of some sort of lycra-enriched fabric that doesn't so much hug Haruka's figure as cling to it with the desperation of a shipwrecked sailor clutching a passing barrel. That dress is one lucky bastard. Karuko's got an extremely vivid imagination when it comes to what's going on beneath Haruka's clothes. Same. This evening, she doesn't need to use that imagination, not in the slightest. She'd seen it before tonight, of course, had been there when Haruka bought it, in fact, but nothing could prepare her adequately for seeing it in the flesh, on the flesh, in all its terrifying, heart-stopping glory. As she stood, bent over double, hands to her face, and with Haruka anxiously patting her on the back and murmuring words of comfort, she didn't need to look up to picture the knowing smirk on Sayo's face. Eventually they were all ready. Transformation hearts safely stashed, uniforms neatly folded and tucked away, then on through the fire exit, the alarm neatly disabled with a quick little burst of magical energy, courtesy of Sayo, down the shadowy flight of stairs, Karuko trying to ignore the way that dress of Haruka's clung so tightly to her body, stretching and flexing with every... And finally, the hushed, nervous little gathering at the bottom of the stairwell, where Karuko had dug into her back pocket, pulled out the little foil parcel, and unwrapped the goodies. Oh, it's drug time! There they sat in the palm of her hand, 6 little pills. 6 for now, 6 for now, 6 for now, 6 for now. I mean, 1 for now and 1 for an unspecified later. 6 for now. Frightened little 6 for now. Frightened little glances around the group as they stood on the precipice. Then, with a muttered curse, Karuko had picked up a pill, popped it into her mouth with a grimace at the taste, and snatched the bottle of water off Sayo to wash it down. And one by one, they'd all taken a giant leap into the unknown. Oh, goodness. It's drug time. Ugh. Let me just rehydrate here a bit. So now here they were. Here is a round table and a small booth. It's at 2 steps above a mezzanine floor that runs around the edge of the club, some 12 feet above the heaving mass of happy humanity below. This place is big, bigger than Karuko had been expecting. She's not sure precisely what she had been expecting on her first foray into the whole nightclubbing scene. But yeah, she has to admit, this is pretty cool. The mezzanine runs along 3 sides of this great rectangular barn of a building, with the far end a blank wall instead, crowded with speakers and a crazy network of brackets and scaffolding for the lighting rig. Up here above the mad press on the dance floor, the place is still crowded with folks much like themselves. There's that same restless, nervous, happy excitement, heads nodding, feet tapping, eyes turned to look down on the action below. The dance floor is heaving. This isn't like some disco thing, with people standing around watching each other, or couples dancing. It's more like a pit, hands in the air, bodies pressed close together, bouncing along to that incessant thud, 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 thud that's reverberating through the floor, the walls, the ceiling. Strobes and spots and lasers dance across the walls and the crowd, but there's no other lighting. It's dark, hot, and sweaty. It's hard to hear yourself think, let alone what anyone else is saying to you. This is very accurate to what my experience with raves has been like. Literally just bouncing in place, losing my mind, lights everywhere, high slash fucking wasted beyond comprehension. Yeah, this is pretty accurate. Karuko looks out, eyes slightly unfocused, feeling for any trace of whatever Sayo was whittering on about. To be honest, it's difficult to be able to zone in on anything in here when every one of her non-magical senses is being fucked with royally. Was that something, though? Was that something there? Maybe some sort of tingle? She can feel it on the back of her neck. It doesn't feel quite the same as usual, though. The vaguer, muffled, as though Her eyes snap back into something like focus, and she realizes with a start that she's been staring vacantly for some time. Sayo's been talking to her for who knows how long without paying her any attention. Instead of concentrating, she has just been... what? Moving her feet up and down, fighting the pulse? Is that tingle growing stronger? Karuko-chan? Louder but muffled, coming to her like Sayo's underwater. She turns, chewing on her lip, her jaw working side to stop her muscles cramping up. She feels Sayo is staring at her. Her eyes are enormous, great black pools with that ruby red rim twinkling in the low light. So pretty. The music is really pumping now. She smiles, a big, warm, wide-open smile, a smile of pure pleasure at being here in the company of her bestie. She never tells Sayo that, does she? Never sits her down and explains to her how much she loves her? Why? It's daft, isn't it? She has to put things right between them. The thought is on her in an instant. The need to do something about it is overwhelming. Karuko twists in her seat, swinging her whole body around to give her friend, her dear friend, the attention and affection she deserves. Oh, fuck yes. And then they start just fucking making out. I mean, anyway, where was I? Her hands reach out, fingers closing around the smooth skin of Sayo's lean forearms. They feel lovely beneath her hands. Lovely. She slides her palms up towards Sayo's elbows, setting off a pleasant buzz in her hands that cascades out and up, fizzing through her wrists. Her thumbs press down into the soft flesh around Sayo's elbows as she turns her gaze upwards. Sayo-chan, she squeaks, her voice tight. I'm glad we came. She breathes in through her nose, a deep, deep breath filling her lungs. Oh, they're swelling up like balloons. She can feel them under her ribs and then out, and it shivers, trembling right through her. And now she can feel her pulse, fast and feverish as it pitter-patters. And Sayo was smiling and sparkling, smiling so wide. Her features swimming in and out of focus in pink and green flashes amongst the shadows. She feels warm, really warm, and soft and toasty, and I think Sayo is leaning in close, so close. Karuko can feel the heat humming off her. I think I might feel something, you know? Cow. She bursts out into a fit of giggling without warning, a moment of unguarded, giddy joy that is so unlike her friend's usual straight-laced seriousness that it fills Karuko's heart. Cow-chan, can you? Karuko works her jaw around, trying to loosen up those muscles and tendons which are tight now, very tight. She flexes her tongue around inside her mouth, eyes painfully wide, and nods enthusiastically. Yeah, I think... I'm not sure, but I do feel a little bit different, you know. She gazes at her friend, feeling laughter welling up inside her. Yeah, just a bit, I think. Ooh, yeah! She looks up, her face glowing, and sees Sayo looming over her, grinning wildly, her brow beaded with sudden sweat, those angled cheekbones as hard as marble with tense muscles beneath them. I'm so glad. She leans in and envelops Karuko in sweltering hug, arms wrapping tightly around her, squeezing and filling her with joy. It's too hot and too close, and Sayo's way too big, and it feels like absolute heaven. Sayo's face turns in towards her, cheek to cheek, lips close to Karuko's crazily sensitive ears. I'm so glad you're my friend. The vibration in her ear makes her shudder. Karuko tenses, shivering with the rush, bubbling and bursting and sparking. Right now, Oh, she's got to move, got to stand up, do things. She doesn't even know what, doesn't care, but she does know. She's tingling all over, every hair in her body quivering, every follicle on her arm standing to attention with goose pimples so pronounced they're almost painful. And she is awash with love. I'm so glad, too. Her tongue feels clumsy in her mouth. She eases those jaw muscles around again, softening them into a relaxed smile. And the laughter is on her, bursting out, and she can't contain it any longer. Fucking arg! Mate, seriously, this was such a good idea. We gotta do this again, all three of us. Sayo nods so urgently, Kariko's half frightened she's going to snap her head clean off. Gods, yes, yes, all three of us. Oh, Kao-chan, Haruka-chan, my special friends. So happy. You see, I told you. Sayo pushes them apart, still holding on tight to Kariko's shoulders, and glares down at her with mock seriousness. So, Kao-chan, I'm still waiting. Be brave. You said you would. Now go and tell her like you promised, right now. Yes, yes, of course. That's what she needs to do. She needs to go and tell Haruka right now. She's bursting with love. She looks up across the booth, and there she is, her special girl, standing up behind the table, hands clasped tightly together against her chest, bouncing up and down to the music and just radiating. There's no other word for it. Her darling Haruka, Magia Magenta in all her glory, that smile as dazzling as a newborn star. Man, my fucking avatar is going ape shit. But that's fine, because so am I. She turns the blinding smile on Kariko, trembling with pent-up emotion. Kariko's not sure how she manages to keep her eyes fixed on her friend without just melting away into a pool of gloop. This is amazing. Oh, I love you. Oh, my friends, my special precious friends. Oh, but this is so naughty and it's great and I love it and oh, but we mustn't do this ever again. It's... The lightweight dress is clinging to every curve. Haruka's skin is glowing in the dim light. Her eyes are twinkling emeralds. The transformation heart that hangs around her neck, dipping into the soft valley of her cleavage, is pulsing with a vivid pink light, creating all sorts of interesting highlights and shadows across those curves. And focus, Kariko. She drags her reluctant eyes back up towards Haruka's face. That rhythmic swaying's getting more pronounced. The girl is rolling her hips, the knuckles of her bunched fists white and her lips clamped tight together as though she's trying to keep in an explosion of laughter. She looks from Kariko to Sayo and back again, bangs her hands on the table, flashing that devastating smile once more, quivering with energy. Come on then, girls, come on, let's go. She turns and plunges off along the mezzanine walkway, making for the stairs down to the dance floor. Kariko's eyes follow her every step of the way, a vivid blur of bouncing hair and day-glow fabric stretched tight. So tight across her supple body. The pale skin of her bare arms and legs dabbled in spots of lurid color in the disorienting lighting. Yes, let's go! Kariko starts out of her reverie and looks up to see Sayo grinning crazily back at her, already pushing herself unsteadily up onto her feet. Come on, Kao-chan, we gotta get down there and catch her up. You made me a promise. Sayo's laughing as she turns away and sets off, weaving her way through the bodies on the balcony walkway, trailing along in Haruka's wake. Kariko's going to follow them. Of course she is. As goddamn well she should. Just as soon as she feels a little bit less wobbly. Because fucking hell, she's feeling wobbly right now. Her arms and legs trembling with a hazy quiver she can't explain. Sure as shit, not because she's cold. Now she's burning up, sweat threatening to break out across her scalp, the back of her neck, her armpits, between her legs, and especially between her legs. She can feel the blood pumping through her body, and her skin feels sizzling, soft, and sort of clammy, just whoa, so sensitive. She crosses her arms, rubs her fingers up and down her bare biceps, elbows, forearms, and back once more, feeling the heat tracks they leave as her skin responds to the touch, glowing and humming, and this is incredible. She gasps, barely able to draw enough air into her body, and tries to push herself upright before promptly collapsing back down again. Shit. Her legs are gone completely. She should be terrified. She's sitting here on her own, in the middle of a club she's never set foot in before, surrounded by people she doesn't know, absolutely off her head on something she's never taken in her life, and her body has now decided that it doesn't know how to stand up anymore. But it feels so good. The laugh has burst out from between her lips before she's had any warning that it's on its way. She's Tenkawa Kaurako. She's Magia motherfucking Sulfur, and she's not going to let her own pissing limbs tell her what she can and can't do just because she's an ick a little bit out of it. Ha! She pushes down harder. Come on, knees, you useless fuckers. Give us a bit of a hand here, eh? Manages to get her right leg straight, balancing against the back of the booth for a bit of extra support. Now pick up that left foot, swing it forwards, one foot in front of the other. There you go. And we're upright. Only minimal holding on required, too. Yeah, she's fucking bossing this. Kaurako holds on tight to the black painted woodwork, letting the worst of the flutter subside, and then sets off towards the staircase. The music is a living thing surrounding her, pumping against her ears and skin, throbbing through the club like the heartbeat of some angry monster she's found herself stuck inside. Her feet feel heavy, clumsy, hard to lift and hard to put down again, giving her no stability when she's pushing back against the floor, like she's walking through some heavy swamp on the moon, weightless and heavy at the same time. As she walks, the tables and rails and people and lights stream past her on either side, leaving her feeling like she's standing still on top of some giant treadmill, rolling the world around beneath her feet while she stays still, the only fixed point in a universe of churning color and sound. Kaurako ducks and sways between the groups of clubbers who have gathered, leaning out over the balcony to watch the entertainment below, half stumbling, reaching for the handrail when she needs it, but making progress, getting there, surrounded by friendly faces and friendly contrails of her own aura when she flies. She waves her own hand in front of her face, marveling at the rippling patterns of light she leaves behind, glowing like the glare from a sparkler when you're writing the name of your loved one in the air. Oh, she sucks in another huge lungful of air, and her brain swims with a renewed rush. She jabs her finger forward and traces out Haruka's name in her very best calligraphy, marveling as the characters swirl before her eyes. Before the next instant they're gone, dissipating away into the throbbing darkness of the club without a trace. Fucking I love BlueJerboa's descriptions. Holy fuck, what the shit. We need infinitely more of this in everything, not just in fan fiction. I want to see this in fucking movies. I want to see this in every book I pick up. God fucking damn it. And it feels so real. I don't know if any of you have been completely blasted out of your minds in a club, but yeah, kind of like this a little bit. Okay. Throbbing. Down the spiral staircase, knuckles white where her hand grips the banister, her knees bowing and bouncing like they're made of rubber, down and down to the floor. The sound is even louder down here, a physical barrier in the air that she has to swim through to make progress. It's more chaotic than ever. Wafts of dry ice billow through the crowds, illuminated by the sharp beams of lasers and wider washes of color. And on every side, more images and sounds and whirling bodies. Her heart is hammering away, fit to burst. Her stomach churns, her skin tingles. Finding her friends is going to be tricky. Every person in the club is taller than her, it seems, and that dance floor is rammed. She doesn't care. They're all lovely people anyway. She'll fit right in. Fuck, that is how it feels. Like, literally just feels like everything's gonna be okay. And everyone is okay. Fine. Okay, then no time to lose. Where has a girl got to? She pushes herself away off the pillar she's been clinging to in the dark beneath the mezzanine floor and launches herself into the press of bodies, finding her hips moving instinctively, head and shoulders rolling, and eyes half closed, losing herself in the music. There are words now, maybe from the speakers around her, maybe in her own head, but words singing, cutting through even the throbbing bass and low thud of the rhythm pounding away. When the taking and the giving starts to get too much, let the music hit you with its healing touch. Last night's just a way of marking time. Everybody must express the feeling sometime. I don't know how that song's supposed to go, but it's okay. Be glad that I'm not trying to sing it. Pressing on and through the crowd, smiling, nodding, gently easing her way past strangers with a gentle push and a hug and a shared laugh. Deeper on out, away from the shore to the heart of the whirlpool. It really does feel like that, though, and I really wish it was all just good shit. And a lot of times it is, but, you know. And God, if only we could just live in a world where we're all just happy as shit and nice to each other. Anyway, she's no idea which direction she's going in now, and there's no point in calling for help. She doesn't need help. She just needs to be here. They say a tree is as tall as its many branches, but not all God's children have the same chances. She must be somewhere near the middle by now, though, since it's too crowded to move onwards any further. Instead, she stops and just lets the beat take over. Feel the music. Be the music. Her feet, her knees, hips, rear, back, and shoulders, arms, neck, head, all one big, pulsing, moving ball of dazed happiness. She turns slowly on the spot, her skin fizzing with electricity, liquid joy coursing through her, hemmed in on every side, and the beat drops out. There is a whistling and cheering from the crowds as the strobe lights kick in with a vengeance. Black and white, stark freeze frame, images all around her, figures twisting, arms in the air. The music is building dramatically, stabs of synths climbing higher and higher, intoxicating flurries of notes fluttering past her in the air from every point of the compass. Kariko's heart is in her mouth. The crowd seems to part before her, rolling away to left and right, leaving a single slender figure silhouetted against the blinking lights. Arms raised, lithe and sinuous, her movements exaggerated by the strobe flashes, hips and thighs and shoulders twist and sway and grind in perfect synchronicity. Kariko's holding her breath as the dancing girl slowly turns towards her, head thrown back in complete abandon, face turned to the ceiling, eyes half closed and mouth hanging open in a rapturous smile. Higher and higher. Then the beat drops. Colors explode all around them, and the crowd goes berserk as the music kicks into gear once more. But Haruka is there, right in front of her. She opens her eyes, turns her face to Kariko, and smiles. Kariko gasps. Her heart is pounding in her chest, fighting to get out. Haruka's eyes focus in, and she seems to see Kariko properly for the first time. And the smile brightens still further, terribly bright. It's painful. Too painful. The image hurting her eyes, hurting her heart. But she can't look away for a single second. Haruka reaches out with her right arm, fingers extended, beckoning Kariko towards her. And Kariko is drawn inexorably inwards, hooked, caught in the siren song, caught in her siren song. Haruka hasn't stopped dancing for one moment. The hypnotic orbit and pulse of her hips keeps on grinding on with the precision of a Swiss watch. Mesmeric. Her eyes are half hooded as Karuko drifts in closer, lips faintly parted, that broad smile still there but transformed now, morphing from euphoria to something more sultry, more sensual. And her eyes, absolutely fixed on Karuko's face, unblinking, deep liquid pools of jade and jet. Any pretense Karuko might have had about self-control, keeping up her defenses, staying cool and professional and all that crap, it is completely gone, flaming up and crumbling into ash in the face of Haruka's burning allure. For what you dream of. For what you dream of. She reaches out, her fingers interlacing with Haruka's, and lets herself be drawn in, feeling the soft, cloying warmth of Haruka's hand melting into her own, their point of contact dropping down lower towards her waist as her body closes the gap between them. Haruka's left hand slides across her shoulders, fingers tracing across her back, her neck, tangling up into her hair and then stroking along her scalp, fireworks exploding under the fingertips. Karuko feels her own hips picking up the pulse of the music once more, and her face cracking into a smile, wider and wider. Haruka keeps reeling her in, soft but insistent pressure across her head and nape and back, closing the distance. And they're in perfect rhythm now. So many times before they've danced together, enjoyed music together, performed together, but not like this. Never like this. Haruka's fingers squeeze down on Karuko's left hand once more as their hips touch for the first time. Fuck, this is so good. And Haruka's right in front of her, right there, knees to knees, hips to hips, breasts to breasts, nose to nose. Her eyes are enormous, hypnotic, chilling. She leans in towards Karuko, closing her eyes at last, breaking that enchantment as she presses her warm forehead against Karuko's own and laughs. The warm breath ripples across Karuko's mouth, their lips nearly touching. Karuko's right hand reaches up, trembling, and strokes tenderly along Haruka's left flank. Down and up and down again more confidently, feeling the muscles moving beneath the skin, the warmth of Haruka's body smoldering through the thin layer of fabric that is all that separates them. Down and down further, before they come to rest securely on Haruka's hip, pressing down and in, squeezing the pair of them together. Haruka beams. She turns her face, pressing her cheek against Karuko's own as she dips her head down, lips brushing against the shell of Karuko's ear. Oh, Karuko-chan, my precious friend, my beautiful, precious friend. To be continued. Holy fuck! That was so fucking good. What the fucking fuck shitting fuck fuckity fuck. That was really, oh my god, that was insanely good. What the absolute fuck? Oh my god, that was so amazing. Oh my god, this is like one of the most powerful Haruka fucking fix I've ever seen. Jesus Christ, the strength of their emotions. And I, like, on one hand, the ending, like, there is the sense, like, oh no, friend zone. But let me just tell you something, guy. When this has happened, this girl Haruka her heart is absolutely filled with Karuko right now. All right, friend is just a fucking word because English sucks. It just means we're fucking close. And oh my god, this is so fucking beautiful. I love this so much. So I'm going to try to upload this to Patreon because this is the most beautiful thing ever. And again, I'm not a professional reader. I'm literally just a fan reading these things and reacting with my takes. And it's so good. Oh my god, why is it so fucking good? How does it only have 40 kudos, more importantly? Fucking what the hell is going on here? Jesus. I actually have a registered account now. I'm just not logged in. So you know what? I'm going to do it. I gave it a guest kudos, and I'm also going to log in later and give it a real kudos. But for now, this is this video. I'll figure out how to update it. Some people might see it. We'll see. Good night. This was fucking amazing. Again, this is Love is a Stranger from BlueJerboa. You know what? I see what you're doing. I see what you're goddamn gonna orphan all your fix. I'm gonna download all your fix as a PDF, motherfucker, son of a bitch. Okay, I love you. Anyway, yeah, that was this chapter. I'm gonna continue because it's fucking good. Thank you and good night.